The NFAC is marching on Louisville, Kentucky real soon. So here comes a flashpoint, guys. Here comes a hot topic as well. And then here comes a bit of a call out from me. Probably not what you're going to expect. But there's a huge issue with what's about to take place with the NFAC marching on Louisville, Kentucky. Two things to be aware of. One, the NFAC's march the first time was successful. It was a success. It got national media attention. It got a bunch of YouTubers talking about it. And it showed people a successful amount of numbers. Very large group, right? When these things happen, if it's a small group, people are just gonna laugh at you, right? Yeah, you didn't hit the mark. Ha ha ha. Your 5 people are a joke. When you get a few hundred people to show up in uniform, bring their guns, show that they're serious to an extent, that's a success. So the first march was a success. Now, you can expect the second one, march formation, you can expect the second one to be even better. All those people who watched the first one take place and were motivated by it, or B, were waiting for it to be legit or be a joke, saw that it was legit, they're going to join the second one. The second one is going to be big. Now, why are they going to Louisville, Kentucky? They are going to get justice for Breonna Taylor. If you're not aware of who Breonna Taylor is, we're going to talk about it in a second. Here's the other side of this coin. The NFAC marching on Louisville, Kentucky has generated resistance from militias, patriot groups. There has been a call out for all patriots to show up in opposition of the NFAC showing up in Louisville. In opposition, guys. People are calling out armed militia to show up in armed opposition against an armed group seeking justice for a woman who was shot by police. Here's my issue with this. Why? Why would you call out opposition against the NFAC on this? This is not a rah-rah NFAC video. This is, why would you oppose what they're doing? They are going there to draw attention, and it's going to work. So stay out of the way. They are going there to draw attention to Breonna Taylor's case. Let them do it. If you're not familiar with her case, figure it out. We're going to tell you in the video in a second. Here's my issue. Why? Who would generate this call out and say, "Hey, let's get there, guys. Patriots and militia. Let's go there and oppose these guys. Let's be there in a response." What an unnecessary flashpoint you are causing. You are going to rally up a bunch of armed troops to go there against a bunch of armed troops. You know it's going to be predominantly white against black. You're walking into this scenario to oppose a group who is trying to get justice, not for a George Floyd, not someone who's got a criminal past, not someone who's probably a piece of shit of a person. You're talking about a woman who works in the medical field. I believe she worked in the ER. She works in the medical field. She was working long shifts, extra hours during the original COVID crisis. She was in her bed getting rest, probably going to go to work the next day, work a long shift. I imagine, like all the other nurses and medical technicians, people who have been asked to do extra during this time. She goes to bed. Midnight, little after midnight, a search warrant is executed on their residence in their apartment building. A no-knock search warrant. If you don't know what a no-knock search warrant is, it means that somebody got a warrant to not knock before they bust in through the door. They get to just kick it in and go. Midnight. Keep that in mind. Why do they go at midnight? Why after midnight? Why do they go at midnight? Element of surprise, guys. They want to get you sleeping. They want to get you while you're tired. They don't want you to be armed up, ready to be able to answer the door, right? So what happened was this. They knock on the door, allegedly, to their statement. They knocked on the door multiple times. Keep in mind it's after midnight when reasonable people are sleeping. The door was not answered. The residents of the house heard it, started getting up, and at that time, the police were using the battering ram to break through the back door. Upon their entry through the back door, the man of the house, I don't know his name, opened fire on whoever was coming through his house, whoever was breaking into his home, opened fire on him. And rightfully so, guys. Anyone coming through your door in the wee hours of the night, you should be opening fire on them. I would do it. I would absolutely do it, because nobody should be there coming through my door with a battering ram and their buddies. Nobody should do it, right? So I 100% endorse his reaction to fire on whoever was coming through his door. Now, the statement of the shooter, the original shooter, the man defending his house, was that they did not hear any preemptive knocks on the door. And if your goal was to knock on the door to get let in, why would you show up at midnight when you know people are sleeping? Why wouldn't you go there during the day to knock on it to resolve it peacefully? Not good common sense here. The whole point of a no-knock warrant is to catch you by surprise, to catch you off guard, and to be able to take you into custody before you are able to mount a defense. Now, what took place was he fired on the door, and the police on the outside blindly fired back into the structure. One of those bullets struck Breonna Taylor and killed her. She did nothing. Oh, but Chad, they were serving a search warrant. You guys want to know what the warrant was for? The search warrant was originally drummed up for a house multiple blocks away, suspected of drug activity. A house multiple blocks away. But law enforcement suspected that one of the people who they wanted at the house may have possibly used the apartment. So they got a no-knock warrant for an apartment that may or may not be attached to whatever's taking place 2 blocks away in a house. All of this results in a woman being killed who is innocent, who does not have a record, and who is black. Now, if that last part, that last little detail is the only detail that makes you give a shit or not, you are a piece of shit of a person. Here's the issue. The state will kill you in your own home and do nothing to hold anyone accountable. They will kill you on the whim of an investigator, detectives, whoever, who should be fired and held accountable. And I'm going to tell you guys this. The NFAC is marching on Louisville, Kentucky, and I don't know where they're marching to, but I can tell you that if I was pissed off enough to march on to Louisville, Kentucky to get justice for Breonna Taylor, I'd be going to that judge's house that signed the warrant. That judge who signed the no-knock warrant is the top piece of shit. All the order followers down below, those are the bottom pieces of shit. Shit rolls downhill. All of those guys who blindly follow orders and nobody looks into this and says, hey, do we really want to go in here because they suspect that this apartment might have been used? You're going in there with lethal force. You've got a whole brigade of homies behind you with a bunch of AR-15s and boomsticks. You're going there to kill somebody. You're going there prepared to kill somebody. Don't you think that you should have a little more than just a whim if you're going to kick that door in at midnight? But nobody gets to question orders, right? Because we're all just doing our job, and we're all just a bunch of bootlickers. And one of the biggest issues is when these things take place and people lose their life is nobody says anything to the judge who signed off on it. Let's go to the top, guys. So if you're watching this message and you are part of the NFAC, you know somebody part of the NFAC, or you are going to go there and support the NFAC, might I suggest that your target of who you go protest is the judge who signed off on the no-knock search warrant. Let's hold him accountable at the top so we can change the shit rolling down the hill. Now, to sum up this video, guys, and get it over with, because I think I've made my point, I think I've made my stance very clear. I'm going to tell you this. If you are one of the militia, patriots, or whoever was called to come and oppose the NFAC, don't do it. Don't go there and oppose the NFAC and turn this into a black-white issue. This is about the state murking an innocent person. Go there and support them. Go there and support them. Imagine that. Imagine if the state is expecting a black and a white opposition, and then when they get there, it's this nice mix of vanilla and chocolate, but they're looking at the state now. They're looking at the people, rightfully so, who they should be looking at. They should be looking at the people who killed an innocent woman in your community. So if you guys see anyone in the militia, in the patriot community, call them out. Call them out and tell them this isn't, you're opposing the wrong people. Pull your head out of your ass, guys. This black and white bullshit that's taking place, pull your head out of your ass if you're driving it home, okay? This is about police militarizing and killing innocent people and then getting away with it. I'll tell you guys what, they tried to charge the guy with murder, attempted murder, for defending his property. Those charges have since been dropped. What also has not taken place is absolutely nobody who fired a shot that took that woman's life is being held accountable. The state can kill you in your own home and get away with it. That is the problem. That is where everyone's focus should be. So call up the NFAC, ask them where they're going to be, and ask to help them out. Ask to be a part of it. Go support the fact that it's the state killing people. You want to dislike the NFAC? Fine. Be two separate entities that are there for the same goal. Justice for Breonna Taylor.